Here it goes. Lish Simpson is the winner, everybody, of the 1 year free membership. Congratulations, Lish Simpson. After a great success, Metroflex Gym is extending the competition to win 2 more yearly memberships.
To enter, add or sign up for 1 month. Now $40, normally $80. Go to Metroflex website and follow the prompts. Link in bio.
Tag a friend, like this post, and follow at Metroflex Gym AU and Muscle Talks podcast to increase your chances of winning.
Winner will be drawn this Saturday.
You've got to be in it to win it.
Yeah, it's of course I have clients too, but that was not the main reason. You know, I have this day and night rhythm already for years, and it just happens. So also if I'm going to bed, you know, and it doesn't happen often, but if I'm going to bed by 12, I still wake up early.
Yeah. My
body is still used to it, because I'm very productive in the morning. I'm getting a lot of work in before I go to the gym and work one-on-one with my clients already. Because I know if I have clients back to back and I train afterwards myself and I come back from a break in the afternoon before going back to the gym, I'm out of energy. I'm not gonna get any work in.
She's 19 years behind schedule from deciding what she's told her mum. She's either going to the USA or Australia. Will she reveal the true Amsterdam to us? Which comes first, heavy metal, Spice Girls, or Miley Cyrus? Oats at 4:30 a.m., a treat. In before bed, 7 p.m., a treat. 5 topics in 30 minutes, sex is involved. Okay, so is food, health, music. She has a squatting ritual and more, wants to break stereotypes and help the world. Also travel while doing it. She suffers from the middle child syndrome like me. Please help me welcome the person where my favorite beer is made, Heineken, Mandy Ragetlie.
Hello. Okay, I haven't heard that one before. It's funny because this sounds really Dutch. It's Ragetlie.
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 I'm not going to go there. How are you?
Ragetlie. Just keep it like that. Ragetlie.
How about I just say Mandy?
Perfect.
Oh, you know, there's a song, isn't there? Oh, Mandy. Or is it Candy? Or
Mandy? Well, actually, Mandy. Okay, no, it's Mandy. Actually, that's why my parents came up with my name. Because of that song.
Oh.
Yeah. So you someone knows I'm about to come over, they start playing that song. Every time.
So many people have parents that got their name from a song. So, oh, Mandy, and you came, and you came. And... Oh, we're going to do a duet together. Okay, let's start here. So you told your mum at 16, and I'm assuming this was prior to you moving out, that you will either end up at the USA or Australia. So 19 years overdue at the moment. Are we still thinking of coming to Australia or the USA? Which one?
Yeah, well, it's probably going to be Australia.
Oh, well, of course. I mean, they're all nutbags. They're all nutbags in America.
I fucking love Australia, even though I haven't been there. But, you know, my coach lives there.
Yes.
My partner lives there.
Oh, your partner lives there. You got a partner in Australia?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Wait a minute. Your partner, is he living in Amsterdam or he lives in Australia but he's your partner from Australia? I'm confused. Tell me now.
He lives in Australia.
Okay. Yeah, go on.
Yeah. And we actually met through our coach because my coach was his coach before too.
Okay. Well, that's great.
Yeah.
And how long have you guys been going out together?
over a year now.
How do you find it? Come on, be honest now. I mean, your podcast is going to be launched in 6 weeks. So by then, don't worry about it.
Oh, by then I might already be in Australia then.
Yeah, you might be in Australia and making up for saying bad things about him. So tell me, so how are you finding a long distance relationship? I'll help discuss that as well. Being I've had a relationship in another state, not like from New South Wales to Queensland, but this is a whole new thing. This is like another country. So how are you finding a long distance relationship?
Well, it was a whole new thing, whole new experience, and still is for me as well, because I've never been in a long distance relationship. And I wasn't looking for someone at all. I was in the middle of moving my gym. So this just happened without even having the intention to end up being together. But it is such an crazy but amazing experience so far, because you really learn how to communicate very well, because communication over a screen is really hard. Communication over a text message is really hard. Things don't come across the right way. So and what for me personally is very good about being in a long distance relationship is, especially in the beginning of a relationship, I'm the type of person, or that's how I used to be, I'm jumping in it like 200% right away without getting to know someone really well. And then after 3 months, I'm bored. And and then I stay in a relationship for 4 years because I feel sorry, or I'm sad, or I can't, I don't want to hurt someone's feelings. So, but this really forced me to getting to know my partner really well before meeting each other in person for the first time.
When did you've met each other? He's come over to Amsterdam?
Actually, he came over to Liverpool, where I recently been, because he was a former powerlifter and strongman, but because of a huge injury, he had to quit doing powerlifting, and then he went into bare knuckle fighting. So we flew over to the UK to have a fight there. And for me, UK is only a 1 hour flight. So
that's right.
I flew over there, and then we got to spend time together and meet each other in person for the first time, actually.
How was that? How was that?
It was, well, we already knew, because we never missed a day since the day we started talking, and we already knew each other so well. So we already knew like 99% it's going to be amazing, but this was even better than I expected, dreamed of, hoped for. And now, because obviously he had to fly back to Australia and I had to go back to the Netherlands, now it actually really sucks to be in a long distance relationship. Because
is that the only time you've met up? Have you met up again since? You've met up with each other since?
No, this is only in 4.5 weeks.
All right, Mandy. Yeah. I want you to be my girlfriend. That's it. We're gonna have a long distance relationship. Mandy, he can have January, February, March. I'm gonna have April, May, June. All right, wait a minute. Hold on. You said you only go for 4 months. All right, you can have me April, May, June, July for 4 months. All right, it's about 4 months. Oh man, I tell you what. Yeah, I've got to hand it to you, and I'll tell you why. Well, I've done long distance, and long distance relationship it's an hour flight, just like yours, but it's Sydney to Queensland. So New South Wales Queensland. So I can drive there.
Yeah.
But even that's hard. So what I'm saying is, I don't know. I mean, look, I know I'm not silly how it works, how intimacy can work, everything can work. But what I find hard is sometimes you just want to sit with someone. You know, it's lonely. The house is quiet, and
Yeah, exactly.
you're tired of. I know you got a cat, but you're tired of the
Yeah.
cat. I'm tired of my dogs, and you just want to have body language somehow. You know, connection. And I find that
Yeah.
I find that very hard because the lust and everything else and the talking is okay, but sometimes you just want to have breakfast with someone. You just want to sit there and share pancakes. Yeah, do something.
Having a coffee together, that's what we did actually in Liverpool, and we really enjoyed it. You know, going out for a morning walk, very early morning, because I love early mornings.
Yeah, you do. I noticed that.
And then just
And
go for a
oats.
walk. Yeah, and oats. I love oats. I love food in general.
Oh, I
But
saw that too. Yeah, I saw that. I saw that too. Yeah.
I love food so much. Really good food in Liverpool too, by the way. English breakfast. Oh God, so good. But they're just walking and not talking, you know, being in each
Yeah.
other's presence.
I don't know how
That's
you're doing it.
that's actually what I really miss now, because you know, if you haven't met in person, you don't know what you're missing, right? But now that we've spent time together and we did all of those things together, I know what I miss, and I really fucking miss it. It is hard,
Well,
you know.
I don't know how you're doing it, but then again, if it was in person, you'd only last 4 months, and you'd be there begrudgingly for 4 years. So that's fair. I think that's why you're handling it, because you've never done this.
Yeah, if you and you know, I have to say, at first it was also really safe for me because
Yeah.
you know, someone is from a distance. I don't have to have someone, even especially if I don't know someone that well, in my house, in my space. You know, I've been in relationships before where I was so close with my partner, like too close, like because I run a business with my ex-partner, actually. So we were working together, living together on 40 square meters for 7 years,
Yeah.
you know, that's in the living room. So, and like basically being together 24/7. And that, it felt like I was being choked and not in an enjoyable way.
We'll get to sex. We'll get to sex in a second. Can you slow down? I know you're from Amsterdam or the Netherlands. You just calm down, all right? Like straight away. Like come on,
Yeah.
Mandy, please. All right, Mandy, come on. All
No,
right,
but
leave
still,
it,
it was
leave
really
it,
safe.
leave it for the last 30. Leave it for the last 30 minutes,
I
because
will.
apparently you talk about sex
I
for
will.
30 minutes. Apparently you talk about sex for
Oh,
30 minutes.
that's great. I love talking about that. So, but you know what? For me, it was really safe. It was just really safe. But
Yeah.
now, especially if you feel like you match so well in everyone. He's a business owner as well. He's very busy, just like I am. He understands
Yeah.
me. I
Oh,
understand him.
thank you. He would understand. Is he from Queensland or from New South Wales, Sydney? Where is he from?
Well, is it Brisbane?
Brisbane
Is
is
Brisbane?
Queensland. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. He's from Brisbane. So, yeah.
When are you planning on coming?
Well, actually, he's coming over here first for a fight, and I'm competing too by the end of November. So he can be at my competition, and I can be at his fight. Um, so he will be here until early December. Then he flies back, and then I'm planning to go there in February because that's the coldest month here. I know it's the warmest month in Australia, but
It is.
I really need sun, you know, especially because the winters take so long here. I really miss sunlight, warmth, daylight, just so I think that's the best for me to do. And also business wise. I mean, it's not the best time to leave business wise because January, February, New Year,
New Year's resolutions. Resolutions. Yes.
It's always busy, but extra busy around that time. But I have to. I work so hard. I work a lot. I run my business all by myself. I'm having a big group of clients, and I need a break sometimes too. I always used to think like it's all work, work, work. That's how I grew up as well. My dad was always working and working hard, and he said, you never cancel appointments. You always go to work. It doesn't matter how you feel. You just go.
Yeah.
Unless you are in a fucking coma, you go.
Typical Europeans, really, because you're around that European area.
Yeah. So always working, always busy, and that's what I'm still doing. But I'm really trying, and especially since this year, to be okay with taking days off, flying to another country and not work or not work as much. And I really feel like I want to go and visit Australia and visit my partner for at least 2 weeks. So
just make sure. Hey guys, I just want to say thank you so much to everyone who has subscribed, who is following us on all platforms, but especially here on YouTube. And if you're listening to us on Spotify, please, if you could do us a big favor, which helps us reach more people, get better, bigger, greater. We've already had some great guests anyway. Everyone's been a treat. Hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell so you're notified every week a new podcast that is launched. And I just want to say a big thank you. But again, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and enjoy watching Muscle Talks podcasts. You do a little bit of, just learn some jiu-jitsu, just because the crocodiles and the kangaroos, you've got to fight them every day when you leave your house.
Really? Really? I'm more afraid of the spiders.
Oh, sorry. I thought you were American. I thought you were American. They believe anything I say. I just say rubbish and they believe it.
Oh, I know.
Okay, so I want to ask,
you are.
since you're 19 years overdue, because you told your mum when you were 16, you actually you moved out of home when you were 16. Did you move far? Were you a rebellious kid? Why did you move out at 16?
I was a rebellious kid, absolutely. Already by the age
I can see that. Something tells me you're a rebellious kind of person, but go ahead.
My parents divorced when I was 16. And,
did that hurt you? Is that what it did? It hurt you?
Well, I always told everyone that it didn't hurt me because I always felt like I needed to be the strongest person in the house, taking care of everyone and not show my feelings, just tell everyone, I don't care. I knew they were going to divorce,
Middle child.
Yeah. Every kid, even though I knew it was better for both of them. Doesn't mean I liked it and it didn't make me sad. It absolutely did. So my way of coping with that, and it's the complete opposite from what I am now, but I smoked a lot of weed. I went out, going out like 4 or 5 days a week, drinking lots of alcohol, just basically having a shit lifestyle, just to not feel or not having to feel or not show my feelings.
Yeah.
And, leaving the house, not being in the environment, my mom moved out, she had another partner. My dad was living still in the house where we all grew up with each other. It didn't feel comfortable for me to be there. So the easiest way for me was to move out. And I didn't rent a place. What I did, I was just offering a cat sitting service. So, if my colleagues went on holidays for 4 weeks, I was just babysitting their cats in their house. So I had my own place for 4 weeks, and then they recommended me to friends, people I didn't even know. But they trusted me, so I was cat sitting their cats. So I was just basically hopping houses, which was a lot of fun, but not a very, steady days actually. but it worked very well for me then. You know, it was just nice to not be home.
How long?
And I was
How long were you? Sorry to interrupt, but I just want to know how long were you a rebel for?
um,
Only up until last week. Up until last week, yeah.
yeah, I'm still a rebel. I still
Yeah, go on. Yeah, what made you?
no problem. Well, I started drinking the alcohol and smoking weed by the age of 14, and I think I did that until 19.
Okay.
I was in I was starting my photography classes, and I was smoking in general. Um, I was working as a waitress,
Yeah.
late night shifts. We went out with colleagues after the shifts,
Yep.
drinking alcohol again and stuff. And I told you I played soccer for a long time, right?
Yeah, you did
So I
play
quit
soccer.
soccer around that time too, by the age of 16, because my lifestyle changed so much, but also because I started working full time as a waitress. I couldn't be at the training sessions anymore. I couldn't attend to the matches in the weekends. So my life completely changed from being into sports to, not doing sports at all anymore. And then, by the age of 20, I think I really started to miss sports.
Oh.
I just started going to a gym. I signed up for a gym, um, this commercial gym. Actually, no idea what I was doing, but it was
So
like
you were
maybe
sporty.
good.
So you were sporty person. You were into sport. You were good at sport. Probably. I was just going to say something. Just going back when you moved out of home and you said when your parents divorced and you didn't want to share that you were, hurt by it. It's funny because I'm divorced, unfortunately, and I've got kids. And the thing is, I don't understand what you're going through, and I don't understand what my kids are going through because my parents never divorced. And I know it's really shit. And I said to my kids years later, I said to them, the day our family broke was a shit day. And I said, it will be a shit day forever. But let's make every other day good. I said, we can
Yeah,
have one shit day in our life. Keep it. Keep the shit day. Just keep it there. But let's make other
yeah.
days better. Because I think when everyone goes, get over it, why should I? I don't want to get
What should I
over it.
do?
Why should
Yeah,
I
but
get
you know
over
what?
it?
A lot of people don't want to. People always want only positivity in their lives, right?
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
just not what life is. Life has
No,
good days and bad days, and
that's
it's
right.
completely fine to have a bad day. I really had to learn that, by the way, to be okay with a bad day as well, and knowing that I'm human and that I I have bad days too.
Yeah.
But it's normal, and you know what? I think life would even be very boring if it's all fun and games all the time.
Yeah.
So, sometimes you have a lot of shit days in a row, or maybe a period in your life, which is really shit. Um, but there are always moments in the day as well. Even though you're having a shit day, there's always moments in the day that are really good, you know? When
Look,
I wake up, even though I have a shit day, the moment I wake up, I'm happy because I'm having my oats.
what's your
I'm
star
happy with
sign?
it.
What's your star sign?
It's Taurus.
Taurus.
Yeah,
Oh, a bit stubborn.
yeah,
A bit stubborn and
yeah,
basically your way or the highway.
yeah.
Yeah, well, there you go.
Well, actually, that's really how I used to be.
Oh,
I just was wearing these glasses, so this is my way. This is the only way. And especially when I started my business with my ex-partner, because I run a gym with him for 7 years, it it really yeah, it's not a good way to approach people in general, not a good way to approach clients. But I just thought, this is how you, for example, need to train, or this is how nutrition should be, and there's no other way. And everything or everyone that taught differently annoyed me like crazy.
Yeah.
So I really had to learn. I did this with a mental coach for 4 years to be okay with people having different opinions, people
Yeah.
doing things differently, people
Yeah.
living different lifestyles, and be
Yeah.
okay with that. It's very relaxing, by the way, if you're living that way.
Well,
Yeah.
I found that I looked at a few things, and it's funny, we in the bodybuilding industry, the powerlifting industry, especially in the physical activity industry, we honestly believe that all rituals work. You have to have rituals. Think about it. But can I just ask you a question? Do you
Yeah.
think do you think there's a fat billionaire out there? Yes.
Yeah, of
Do
course,
you think there's a fat non doesn't eat healthy billionaire out there?
of course.
Do you think there's a billionaire out there that doesn't go to the gym?
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is, isn't it funny how we try to tell everyone get up at 4 o'clock or 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock in the morning, make sure you go for a run, cold shower, that's going to make you successful when
No.
you can't manufacture success, because success, I believe, you have to have discipline, but you have to have freedom. You can't hold on, because if you hold on too tight, you will break. So what I'm trying to say to you is sometimes things happen by luck and some things happen by hard work. And I think you've got to find sometimes the days when you go, you know what, I got up at 6 a.m. or I got up at 8 a.m. Does that mean I'm going to fail today? And why should I fail today? And that's why we've got to stop this bullshit that I see out there, that if you don't get up at this hour of the day, you're a failure, when actually they're the failures, because they're kidding themselves. Because at the end of the day, some people go to bed at midnight because they do afternoon shift and they need to get up, they need good 8 hours sleep. Like, what sleep is so important to us that
Yeah.
if some people, some people operate better when the sun goes down and they get all their paperwork done. I do. For some reason, when the sun goes down, I get to do documents better. When it's daylight, I don't function the best. You know what I mean? I'm like daydreaming too much. I'm like imagining, all these things. So,
But that's the beautiful thing about being, we're all individuals, and what works
yes.
for you doesn't have to work for me. And that's what I'm trying to teach my clients, because still, when new people walk in, they think if they, for example, want to lose weight, they have to eat chicken and broccoli 6 times a day and go to the gym 5 days a week, like
Yeah.
right away when they start, because, it's written on the internet, or their favorite influencers tell them to do that. And there's
Yes,
no
yes.
other way.
Yeah, yeah,
But
yeah.
I'm a big believer of, what works is a thing that works for you. So you are the most productive by the end of the day, apparently, when the sun goes down. I'm the most productive when I'm awake. When I'm awake, when I wake up, my brain is just, it's on. I'm full of energy. That's my time of the day. So that works for me. I like to go to bed by 7
Oh
and
no,
wake up 10:30.
to be honest, no, I like going to bed at 7. I do go to bed at 7. What I'm saying is, I was giving it as an example. Sometimes, I don't know about you, but we we could be motivated for a couple of hours and then we're not
Yeah.
motivated. But that's okay, because we might get remotivated at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. What I'm saying is, it's very hard to stay motivated all day. Maybe you could do it, but I just
I
say that.
can. I absolutely can. And that's what I tell my people as well. I love training. It's what I love to do most. Doesn't mean I always feel like training. If I start 6:30 with my first client on a Sunday morning, and I have clients back to back to back to back to back until 3 p.m.,
Yeah.
I am tired. I'm hungry. I want to go home, chill on the couch, and order a large pizza.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, of course.
But I know that when I start my activation exercises and I pick up a barbell or do an empty bar set, as a warm up for my squats, I feel better. I'm looking forward to train again. I know that when I'm starting my training session, I enjoy it a lot and I feel so good afterwards. So that's why I do it. It doesn't mean I'm motivated all the time. No, of course I want to be on the couch too with my pizza or my burgers or both, whatever.
Well, looking at your food highlights, you don't mind a good carrot cake and a good cheesecake from what I saw.
I love those. Yeah, but my favorite actually is apple pie.
Are you a good cook? Apple pie, huh? Are you a
Apple
good
pie,
cook?
yeah.
Are you a good cook?
Oh yeah, I think I'm a decent cook, yeah. But I don't. I am a good cook, but I don't enjoy spend my time in the kitchen for hours. So, some people like to cook and use recipes and stuff. I'm not like that. I just want a big bowl of food with all the foods I enjoy.
Yeah, I noticed that.
Easy to
You
prepare.
like a good bowl. You like a good bowl or something.
Absolutely, yeah.
And all right. So I've noticed you like a burger with a lot. You like what's it called? What's it called when you get the egg poached and it's got holiday sauce on it? What's it called? Benedict. You like eggs
Especially,
Benedict.
yeah,
You like eggs Benedict.
absolutely.
I like that. You like
Oh,
eggs Benedict. You
let's
like
let's
pancakes.
do Dutch pancakes.
You,
Especially Dutch pancakes, really good.
you like steak. I notice you like steak and chips. You like a few chips on the side.
Yeah,
What else do you like? Yeah, I noticed. Yeah, you do like your food. God, you got a lot of highlights. I just on your,
yeah,
I found out everything about you on your highlights. I just sat on highlights for the whole time, and I said, God's
yeah,
sake.
yeah.
So
It's
tell
a
me
lot of,
something.
but
Sorry, go on.
yeah. No, I just, like I already said, I just love food so much. I
Yeah,
enjoy
yeah, I noticed
eating.
that. I love. I love food. I do love food. I do. I got Greek background. My background is Greek, right? That's so. Um, I like I like making desserts. I don't eat them a lot, but I do. When I've got them, I like eating them, but I don't like eating them really because I don't know. Just
Yeah.
um, so tell me something. I want to ask you because we're going to go over few of your highlights, but I just because are you in Amsterdam? Is that where you're from?
I'm not from Amsterdam, but I live in a in a town called Leiden, and that's like 25 minute drive from Amsterdam.
Okay, because I've only been to Amsterdam, um, but tell me, how is Amsterdam? Is it still marijuana, drugs, prostitution, and all the other stuff? Or has it cleaned
Uh,
itself up? Is it's cleaned itself up?
well, yeah, absolutely. It's a lot of weed there. There's coffee shops everywhere, and if you walk in the center of Amsterdam, it's just, in the street itself, there's a lot of weed smell. You get stoned without even smoking.
Yeah, when I went to Amsterdam, I went to this cafe, right? I went to Amsterdam,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I
Well,
went to this. Sorry.
a lot of people ask me, especially if they know I'm from the Netherlands, like, oh my God, Amsterdam red light district. How is the red light district? And I think I've only been there 3 times, but
But
it's not like,
is the rest of the Amsterdam is what I'm trying to say to you is Amsterdam just like a suburb that has that? Is the rest of Amsterdam not like that, or do you all smoke weed? You're all stoned.
no, no, no. It's a lot more than that. It's known for that, but of course it's a lot more. It's a beautiful city. There's a lot of canals. Like all the houses look different. And it has a lot of different parts. We have the center, like that's very crowded, lots of people, like pretty much every capital. But there's also like these. It's a little bit more outside of the center. It has like beautiful nature. Like like big parks, huge parks where you can walk and be in quiet, like not
You
seeing
don't
people.
know that. You don't know that. I went to Amsterdam when I was 24. It was a long time ago. And when I went there, I didn't know about Amsterdam. My friend said, let's go to Amsterdam. So we went to Amsterdam. After, I think I was in Belgium, and then from Belgium went to Amsterdam. And I remember, I'll tell you a funny story. So I went to this cafe, which everyone does go to a cafe. But the cafe had the menu, and you could
Yeah,
pick whatever weed you wanted, right? So I
yeah.
remember we picked this weed, and we started smoking. But before we smoked it, so we sit down, and I remember going, man, there's a lot of clocks in here, like heaps of clocks, right? Everywhere there was clocks on the roof, clocks on the wall, cuckoo clocks, this big clock, that big, whatever clock. I went, wow. So we started smoking. And then it was like, we're trying to work out which clock had the right time. Going like, which clock do you reckon? We're looking around. And then these girls came in and they were dancing. It was about,
Yeah.
I don't know, about a dozen girls dancing. And it was 6 Aussie guys there. And we said, maybe we should go dance with them. And that's all we said every time. Maybe we should go dance with them. Maybe we should go dance with them. We never danced
Did
with
you
them.
dance? Oh, you didn't. You
We
didn't.
didn't go because
No.
we're too stoned. We're too
Yeah.
stoned. And then I went. The funny thing is, we went to the Heineken beef.
Experience?
Yeah, I went and did Heineken, but we didn't know, and we lit up a joint inside the beer thing, and the guy goes, "You don't do that here." We go, "Oh, right, sorry, I thought it was Amsterdam. We smoke joints everywhere."
Yeah. That's funny because, especially now you can smoke in general in public areas, right? But years back, we used to smoke everywhere. Apparently, that was different with weed in the Heineken experience, but
And then I'll tell you what else was
we
funny.
smoked it everywhere.
Then we left Amsterdam. I forgot where we went. I think we went to Paris. I don't know where we went, right? So we got on the train to go to another country. And back then we were groomed, like waxed, a little bit muscular, quite European looking. And we got on the train, and then my friend goes to me, there was 4 of us, he goes, "Oh, I've got some weed with me." And I said, "No, you idiot, I'll go to another country. What are you doing? That's dangerous." He goes, "We'll be all right." We got off the train, and there was police or customs with dogs. And I said,
No.
no, but this is it. This is going to resonate with you. This will resonate with you now. So as we're walking towards there, here we are. We all look like we're part of Backstreet Boys, because that's what we look like. We look like the Backstreet Boys, right? So we all look like we're part of the Backstreet Boys. As we're walking, these guys walk past us, and they look like they were from Metallica.
Yeah.
And the police decided to talk to them and let us walk past. So it just goes to show you that if you listen to heavy metal, the police will talk to you.
Absolutely.
So
Usually
just
the
leave.
police is pretty nice to me.
So tell me, since we're going into the story of music, segueing
Yeah.
in, I was listening to some of the music you train to, and I'm
Yeah.
still trying to wonder if there's any lyrics or it's just someone gargling, because it's very harsh, heavy metal music. So I just want to know what came first, heavy metal, Miley
Or
Cyrus, or Spice Girls?
Spice Girls came first.
Oh,
Yeah.
Spice Girls came first.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I was really young when I mean, the Spice Girls were really popular in the 90s, right? So that's when I was growing up. I'm from '89, so I pretty much grew up with Spice Girls.
Yep.
So me and my sister, we were really big Spice Girl fans. So we were doing all their dancing and imitating their video clips and stuff. I've never
Yep.
seen them live, unfortunately. If they go on tour again, I don't give a shit how much a ticket costs, I go.
You go, yeah, of course. Why not?
But so yeah, so I grew up with the Spice Girls.
Yeah.
So Spice Girls definitely came first.
Oh, Spice Girls came first.
Then the metal music came. I think by the age of 14, because my first boyfriend was a huge Iron Maiden fan. So the first concert I
Iron
went to was
Maiden.
Iron Maiden.
Iron Maiden.
Yeah.
Mm,
So he got me actually into metal music.
that's big.
And
Yeah. All of it's big.
yeah, yeah. I'm so happy you did that because
So happy. It
I
scares the hell out of me when I
yeah,
listen to it. Oh my God.
yeah. Yeah, it was really funny actually because I was 14 when
Hmm.
I saw Iron Maiden for the first time. I never heard of fucking Iron Maiden. I knew one song, Fear of the Dark, because that was my boyfriend's favorite song and
Yeah.
he was listening to it over and over again. But they were playing a metal festival here in the Netherlands.
Hmm.
So by the age of 14, I think that was the first time I traveled by train to go and see a heavy metal band.
Hmm.
It was a 3 day festival, and there were all the only guys. There were only guys and like
Yeah.
older guys, 50, 60, 70, whatever,
Well,
all Iron Maiden fans, and I was just
Iron Maiden goes back a long time, you know. Iron Maiden is
yeah,
the Iron Maiden is the 70s and 80s. Yeah.
yeah, it is. So only like long hair, full of tattoos, like big, um, scary looking
Mm.
heavy metal guys, and there
Mm.
I was there,
Bit
very
like
blonde, young
powerlifters.
girl.
Bit like
Yeah.
powerlifters. Yeah.
And it was really funny. We went there for 3 days, but it really, it grew my love for metal music. I really
Mm.
enjoyed that concert and the music, and I got to know other bands that were playing there as well. So started to listen to them after the festival, and that actually got me into metal music. And I used to go out to this metal cafe. We used to drink a lot of beer and smoke weed there, and it has actually got me into metal music. And then I started my photography, and because I love going to concerts, because after that first festival, I just wanted to go more and more and more, and I did that.
Mm.
I said, you know what? I love photography. Why not do concert photography? So I ended up going to concerts. That's meeting.
Were you paid to do that? Were you paid to do that gig?
Not at first.
Not at
At first,
first.
I was just meeting band members at their merchandise stand, and
Mm.
then introducing myself and asking them, like, "Can you get me a photo pass next time you're playing in the Netherlands?" And then around that time, back then we had MySpace
Yeah.
to communicate with each other. So then I was sending band members messages like, "Can I get a photo pass when you're playing here?"
Yeah.
So I ended up being on the guest list, getting photo passes just to do what I love doing.
Yeah.
And I always send them the pictures for free, and they could use them on their MySpace or whatever. I think Facebook was coming up around that time too.
Yeah.
And then eventually I got asked for online magazines. So then there was a guy or girl was, reviewing the
Hmm.
show, and then I was the one who took the photos they could use next to the review of the show. So that was being paid, but it didn't pay much. And what I realized is that I love photography a lot.
Hmm.
Just when I wanted to do it, like as a hobby. Once there was money involved, I felt a lot of pressure,
Ah.
and it wasn't a lot of fun for me anymore. So yeah, but I did that for a long time. So I was at shows pretty much 3 times a week.
Chris did photography at concerts, didn't you, Chris? You did, yeah. Who did you do at the who did you do at concerts?
I did festivals.
Festivals. You did festivals, yeah.
Yeah, I did video.
Didn't you do Steve Aoki?
I did Steve Aoki.
Did Steve
Vinny
Aoki?
Vici.
Who? Avicii? You did Avicii?
No, Vinny Vici.
Who's that?
Oh,
Is
that's
that his cousin? Is that his cousin?
Yeah,
Vinny
no, that's a
Vici?
duo. Who else?
Who else, Chris?
What was his name? But I did a couple named Miro. They're from Australia.
Miro, okay. Have you ever done Tomorrowland?
I haven't done Tomorrowland.
Have you gone to Tomorrowland?
I haven't. No.
You know, that's the biggest dance concert in Europe.
It is. But you know, it's just not my kind of music.
Oh, of course not. Of course
So,
not. I know.
yeah,
I know.
so that's why yeah. But
Mandy used to take photos at concerts. Yeah. So she used to swindle. She said she loved it until she got paid for it, and then it took the love away. Similar when her boyfriend. Similar when her boyfriends make money, she dumps them. She loves them when they're broke.
oh, funny. Yeah. You know what? That made me realize that I love photography, but just not for a full-time job.
Yeah. No. Well,
I don't.
It's funny you say that because I can understand that. I can understand what you mean by that. Sometimes, I was once a personal trainer and I didn't take it up because I loved going to the gym and I didn't want to train anyone. So
Yeah.
I've given training tips to many people. I tell them what to do. I can do that still, but I'm not qualified anymore. But I can't be bothered being a personal trainer for someone because I just love going to the gym and just it to be not a paid experience, which is similar to you photography that you're saying.
Yeah. Yeah. But for me with sports, that was different, especially since I started to miss being in sports a lot because my lifestyle changed a lot. Because I just if you're at shows 3 times a week, you can't go to bed early.
Yeah.
But so my day and night rhythm was completely different
Yeah.
than what it's now, and I don't regret anything. I'm so happy I did that. I've had a lot of fun. I learned a lot. I met a lot of people, a lot of band members too, which I'm still in touch with. 15 years later, which is really nice. And so it actually was an amazing time of my life, but I never want to go back to that lifestyle anymore.
No. Well, you're in bed by 7 o'clock now, so how could you? All right.
Yeah,
And you're up at 4:30 eating oats. I mean,
yeah.
so
But that's also just my day and night rhythm. I go to bed by a certain time and I wake up. I don't even need to set an alarm. I just wake up.
are you so you go to bed at 7? I also
Yeah.
realized you wrote some. I noticed that you have like you have. I just want to see this for a second. Let me just see. I think you have like a pre-bedtime snack. Is that right?
Um, Depends on what snack you're referring to.
I don't know. I'm just talking about food, by the way. I'm just saying food, but I'm saying like
Oh, usually, no,
you
usually I
would.
don't.
Yeah, go on. Usually you don't eat before bed.
No, and
Oh,
not
that's all right.
because
Most people don't. Most people don't.
yeah, not because of the myth that food gets you that you're getting fat after 8, but because I feel like if I eat too close to bedtime, my body is digesting, and I don't sleep very well because of that. My heart rate is up very high. Um, I can't fall asleep easily, so that's the reason why I don't eat very close to bedtime. So I don't really have a bedtime snack.
Okay,
Bedtime.
so why do you go to bed so early? Because you get up early. What time do you get up?
Usually around 4:30, sometimes a little bit earlier.
Why so
And
early? Have you got clients, or is it just your wake up? What is it?
yeah, it's of, of course I have clients too, but that was not the main reason. I have this day and night rhythm already for years, and
Yeah.
it just happens. So also if I'm going to bed, you know, and it doesn't happen often, but if I'm going to bed by 12, I still wake up early.
Yeah.
My body is still used to it. And because I'm very productive in the morning,
Mm-hmm.
I'm getting a lot of work in before I go to the gym and work one-on-one with my clients already. Because I know if I have clients back to back and I train afterwards myself and I come back from a break in the afternoon before going back to the gym,
Mm-hmm.
I'm out of energy. I'm not gonna get any work in around that time of the day, so I try to do it once I wake up. So, well, you know, my morning routine literally is I wake up, I have my coffee, wash my face, quick shower, and then have my food and my working day starts, you know. Besides training people one-on-one in my gym, I have a lot of online clients, so I do a lot of video feedback. Also with my online clients, I have sometimes I have a time difference, so it's
Mm-hmm.
easier to talk with them early in the mornings because
Mm.
that suits their time. So usually I do my online coaching emails, you know, answering texts and stuff before I go to the gym and do my one-on-one clients. And it's, yeah,
Are you a morning person? Are you happy when you wake up in the morning?
very happy. Yeah, very happy. It actually never happens that I wake up in a bad mood. I
Mm.
love waking up. I love my morning routine. I love my happy cat when I wake up
Mm-hmm.
because
Yeah.
he's always very happy too. But I
Yeah.
just love the quiet of mornings as well.
Mm.
So especially since I work with a lot of people in
Mm.
person, I talk a lot, I listen a lot. I'm being surrounded by people all day. I really need
Mm.
the quiet. I really need the quiet.
Yeah, I
So
was going to say you want the quiet.
yeah, so that's also why I decided a couple of years back. Okay, I just, you know, I can pretty much, and I work pretty much every day. Also when I am not at the gym. So I decided like 2 years back, I just want to have my Friday and Saturday off from coaching people one-on-one in the gym.
Yep.
Of course, I do my online clients, I do my programs and stuff, but I need that time alone
Yeah.
to recharge for the week that's coming. Because otherwise I can't give my people, the people that I coach one-on-one, what I want to give them. I'm very rarely a grumpy or moody person, but if I don't have enough alone and quiet time, I absolutely am in a bad mood.
Well, you
And I don't
can't.
want,
Yeah, I don't think you can. I don't think anyone. I mean, not. It depends, really. It depends what kind of business you do or what your end goal is. But it's very hard to deal with people and business 7 days a week. You need time out. You need some time, and especially the industry you're in as well, and a client based business where you got to hear their stories. You got to seemingly be engaging with them and focused, and also help them accomplish their goals. That could be quite draining.
it is. It is. It gives me a lot of energy, but it
Oh
also
yeah, it can give you a lot of energy
It's
too. Yes.
possible, yeah, but it also is very energy draining, and
Mm,
sometimes, and that's what I do, especially for example when people are very happy or they hit a new personal best, or
mm,
and
mm,
especially when that happens by the end of the day, it gets me so excited that
mm,
I am wired when I'm in bed. You know, I am so full of energy because of
mm,
this positive energy those people will get from training.
mm.
So it's really funny actually. So it gives me a lot of energy, but it also costs me a lot of energy because it interrupts my sleep sometimes.
Oh, people, yeah, like I said, that can definitely predominantly energize you, but you definitely, if you haven't had a day where you've been hydrated or you've eaten well, that can affect your cognitive behavior and also how you feel. You know what I mean?
Absolutely, absolutely. So for me, it's very important that I really check in with myself and really feel what I need in a day, and I come to the realization more and more and more that that's alone time. As much as I love being surrounded by people, so for me, it's a very conscious choice to not have like a social life that I used to have before, like going out for dinners all the time, just planning all my days off with all social events. It just, I don't enjoy doing it anymore. It's just too much. You know, even nice things can be too much sometimes. And it's, yeah, it's a choice I make and it makes me happy right now. And of course it can change. I don't know, but for me, this is what works right now.
Tell me
So,
something. Tell me with powerlifting,
yeah,
because we spoke about, I said about hydration and food. How important is food for strength training, powerlifting? How important is food? But also, let's go one bit further. How important is frequency of food? How important is it what you have prior to a lift, and how
yeah.
important is it after the lift? Food.
It's, you know, nutrition is very important in general, but especially if you want to be or want to get really strong, your nutrition can be off. You need to make sure that you get in enough food to
Mm-hmm.
support your strength goals,
Mm-hmm.
and that you get in food full of nutrients because you're asking a lot of your body when you're lifting and lifting heavy, especially
Yeah.
if you're doing it multiple times a week. And you need to recover, and recovery is nutrition besides sleep. And you know, it's probably it's. I'm sure it depends on the individual. I know people who like to train fasted, for example.
Yeah.
Um, so again, it is very personal, but in general, you need enough food to support your strength goals.
Mm.
For me personally, I need food prior to training, like not very close to my training session, but I need to get in a shitload of carbs and protein before I have a heavy squat session, for example.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because
Uh,
I think you need it, don't you? You really need the fuel, isn't it, for what you're doing?
Yeah, absolutely. I need it. I need it. And, you know, for me, I like to have large meals. So I choose to have like 3 or 4 very large meals in a day. Um, but I also know people who don't like that. And it interferes with their training session, for example. If they have this very full feeling, it just interfere with their session. So I think you should do what works for you. But by the end of the day, you know, whether that's having breakfast or skipping breakfast or whatever, by the end of the day, you need to make sure you get in or had in enough calories to support your strength goals.
Oh,
Um,
I find because I know with bodybuilding, you you know, food is very important to build muscle, but you guys need it not only to build muscle, but you need it for a lot of strength, don't you? For a lot of
yeah,
like you know, your lift could be just one lift, just because you're picking up a PB. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah. Yeah, so you need to fuel your body. So it's really funny when people think when they see me that I only eat cucumbers a day. But seriously, I have people telling me this, like, or just people, you know, chatting about it with each other, like she's only eating cucumbers. This isn't a joke. Like I
Mm.
wouldn't be able to lift the weights I'm lifting now if I would only eat fucking cucumbers in a day. I wouldn't enjoy it either. I mean, I love it. I love the taste, but not just cucumbers. And
All right, let's just because I want to come back to stereotype in a second, but let's
yeah,
look at you were 7 years in a business. I was going to ask you, tell me about that, but if it's sensitive, it's sensitive. You don't have to share it. But you're with your ex-partner, I'm assuming, literally
yeah,
ex-partner,
yeah,
ex-personal partner, ex-business partner.
yeah.
What was the gym you owned? What was it? Was it a powerlifting gym? Was he a powerlifter too?
It was a strength training gym. So
Okay.
because we're both we're getting coached by coach I'm still getting coached by, which is a powerlifting style of training. People would call it, I would just call it just training, power building, powerlifting, whatever you
Yep.
call it. But there will always be squats, deadlifts, and bench presses. So a lot of people call that powerlifting training. So our gym together was a personal training studio like I have now. So we were doing one-on-one sessions only, based on strength training. And we did that together for 7 years. So we run the business for 7 years. And before that, we were coaching people in a commercial gym. So
Okay.
I started training people one-on-one by the age of 23.
Yep.
Yeah, 23. I'm 35 now, so after 2 years working in a commercial gym, coaching people one-on-one, we decided the business was already there, so we were already running it together, but we just didn't have a location.
Yep.
After 2 years in a commercial gym, we decided to find our own location, and then from there we just only worked our own personal trading. And I'm doing this for myself now, like not with a partner for 3.5 years. That's how it is.
So this business you have now, what's it called again? Something strength and performance.
Health and performance center.
Health and performance center. Yeah. So what's it like running your own business now? Scary?
At first it was really scary because, and that's actually what was holding me back to quit my relationship, because I knew if I don't break up with my partner, I
Mm-hmm.
be the one who needed to start all over. And of course that
Oh,
happened. And that
yeah.
was really scary because I never did that before. I only co-owned a gym. I knew that I had to invest a lot of money, a
Yeah.
lot of time, and pretty much do everything myself. So that was really scary. But I also knew I want a different life from what I have now, because this doesn't make me happy. So I just started it, and I'm so happy. I mean, we had a big client base, but I told everyone, you know what, you decide yourself whether you're coming with me or you stay here. It's all good, you can decide. And a lot of people ended up coming with me, which I'm still very grateful for. But they ended up
Yeah.
helping me a lot too, setting up the new gym, moving the new gym, even finding a location for me, because it had to happen within only a month. So I actually set up my own business within a month, and I had
Mm.
my basic clients, but actually had to start from scratch. And like I said, very scary in the beginning, but now that I look back at it, it was and still is one of the best decisions I've ever made in my life. Because if you run a business with someone else, it is very important. Of course, you are individual, so you do
Yeah.
things differently. But
Yeah.
you have to have the same drive and passion for what you're doing. And if that's not matching, either one person has to or is getting hold back, or the other person has to just tiptoe and do way more
Yeah.
than he wants to do. So
Yeah.
and for me, it really felt like um, I don't want to say that he was holding me back, but I let myself hold back, because I've had and still have a lot of dreams. I want, and luckily that's already happening more and more and more. But I just want to go worldwide. I want to serve people everywhere, not only in the Netherlands, but also outside of the Netherlands.
I heard about.
Um,
Yeah, I was reading that about you. You wrote you want to help many people all over the place.
yeah, and I love to meet new people all over the world. There's so much more than just this small country that's the Netherlands. And
Mm.
um, so for me, starting my own business, I mean, right away, because it's so much exposure that start a new business, new name, new location, and especially how fast it all happen. Yeah, that seriously was one of the best decisions I've made business-wise.
Here it goes. Lish Simpson is the winner, everybody, of the 1 year free membership. Congratulations, Lish Simpson. After a great success, Metroflex Gym is extending the competition to win 2 more yearly memberships.
To enter, add, or sign up for 1 month. Now $40, normally $80. Go to Metroflex website and follow the prompts. Link in bio.
Tag a friend, like this post, and follow at Metroflex Gym AU and Muscle Talks podcast to increase your chances of winning.
Winner will be drawn this Saturday.
You got to be in it to win it.
You don't look like a powerlifter. I don't want to offend you, not because I'm saying... No, but what I'm alluding to, what I'm trying to say is, yes, when I see you playing that heavy metal music, you seem like a powerlifter. Yes, I see your little rituals, what you're doing, but I see some of your great outfits. I tell you what, you're very fashionable in the gym. You got all your little one-piece outfits and all that. So
Yeah.
So tell me, is it very, like I said, is that what you like to do? Because you said, I'm trying to find it. You said something that, I'll just find it. You said something about wanting to break the stereotype, and you want to make sure that every gender, every age, people around the world come and train. Yes, that's what it said. You said something about, it's just about breaking stereotypes. Is that what it's about with you? To make sure you don't have to be or fit the description, just come and powerlift and let me show you? What is it about powerlifting?
Absolutely, because it's not just powerlifting, but in general, I think still a lot of people think that you need to be at a certain level to start strength training, or you need to be at a certain level to join a powerlifting competition or bodybuilding competition or whatever. So that's why people don't train, or there's still a lot of women who think that strength training makes them big and bulky. You know, that's what I just want to show people, like, you can still look very feminine, even though you're training really hard 5 days a week. You can deadlift even though you haven't touched a weight in your life before, you know, and that's what I love about the people who are training with me. They're all so different from each other. The youngest is 7, the oldest is 72.
Wow.
Men, women, like big, very overweight to like eating disorders, anorexic people that are looking very small, people who did top sport before, people who just, like I said, never touched a barbell before. Everyone is training here, and that's what I want to show to the world. Like, strength training is important for everyone, and you can do this. Everyone can do this, no matter what your gender is, how you look like, what your goals are, whatever. Everyone can do it and needs to do some type of strength training in their life if they want to age healthy. So
I think it's very good for building testosterone. I think powerlifting helps because the females have testosterone as well as the males, and I think it's very good for your mental health and to have a good level of strength.
absolutely, absolutely. And you know what? Also, really, what I really enjoy when people tell me this, you know, the majority of people still walk in here when they start coaching with me, because they want to lose a certain amount of weight. But pretty quickly, they come to the realization that it's not really about losing weight, that they actually enjoy moving their body, feeling that they're getting technically better, by getting technically better, feeling that they're getting stronger, and especially having an hour or 2 hours or 3 hours a week for themselves to not be in their head constantly, but, moving their bodies. Because if you're training properly, you can think of everything you need to do in a day. If I'm squatting 120 kilograms, I can think of all the work that I need to do the rest of the day. I'm focusing on one rep at a time. All of the cues from head to toe, I have to think about this, about that, about this, about that, and then I do my repetition. So that's what makes training for me so mindful as well. I can't be in my head. I have to feel my body to make sure my repetition is successful. And what I love is that a lot of people experiencing that more and more. So it becomes way more mentally than just physically.
I think it empowers people. I think when you take them from lifting 30 kilos to lifting, I don't mean to be so light, 60 kilos, 60 to 65, even 65 to 67 is a great achievement. Just 2 kilos, like I said, people have an element of achievement, especially when it comes to powerlifting.
Yeah. But, and that's why, for me, too, with the people I coach here, I don't care if you deadlift 200 kilograms and that's your new personal best, or you deadlift 30 kilograms and that's your new personal best. If people see and feel that they're getting stronger, it makes them feel good. It makes them feel strong, not just physically, but mentally. And I think that's very important, that people know that it's way more, if it's powerlifting, bodybuilding or whatever, it's way more than just a physical appearance. Of course, it's a great byproduct when you're starting to look better or feeling better in your skin or whatever. But I think this shifts from this being only weight loss focused to, I care a lot more about the weight that I'm lifting on the bar and the bed increases. I think that's amazing. And that's what I want to do.
Well, I think aesthetically it can help you. Since we're going to go a little bit aesthetically, and you have that post about having good glutes. So what's the secret to good glutes? Because I know squatting is very good for good glutes, and having good glutes makes you stronger. So what's the secret to having a good ass?
Training your glutes multiple times a week and getting enough food in. You can't grow muscle without getting in enough food. So that's
and what do you recommend as good glute exercises?
I think a hip extension, like on a back extension machine, but then more hip focus, so with a rounded back. I think that's, me personally, that's one of my favorite glute exercises. But of course, hip thrusts. Hip thrusts are great. Wide stride walking lunges or wide stride lunges in general. Deadlifts too. Low bar squats. More glute and hamstring focus. So I think that's my favorite. Hip thrust, whether it's with a barbell or with bands. I actually love hip thrust, high repetitions with bands around my knees. Fires up my glutes like crazy. And of course you need resistance, you need weight too. And so I think those are my favorite glute exercises. Yeah.
And tell me, I notice when you are going to do your lifts, you seem to have these little rituals. What I notice is you stand back on your tippy toes, and then you do a bit of a dance, a bit of a hip swing, and then you shake the barbell, and then you go in for the big lift. Is that important? All those little rituals before lifting? Do people have to have rituals? Do you think it's important to have rituals when deadlifting? Or when lifting, not just deadlifting, like squats, You name it, like just powerlifting.
Of course, it depends. It probably depends from person to person what works for you. But in general, and I see that with my clients too, everyone over time develops some sort of routine, which make their lift successful. And if they don't do it for whatever reason, they feel like it was a shit lift. So I think mentally it is really important to have rituals. I know it is for me. For me, it is very important. And you know what? If I'm not even aware of it anymore, that I'm doing it, I'm aware of it because people mention it all the time.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God, the hip swinging, or like you do now. But it just happens. The way I walk up to the bar, which hand is touching the barbell first. It's just a part of my lift, and all of my successful lifts had those rituals involved. So for me, it is very important. But I also know people who don't have lifting rituals.
I think what I've seen, everyone seems to like to get angry. Have you guys got? Do you know Paddington Performance? You know Paddo Performance?
Yeah,
Do you follow those guys?
yeah. You've had Paul over, right, for the
I
podcast
had Paul.
recently.
Yeah, I had Paul.
Yeah,
And you know Andrew Locke. That's how we connected with Andrew Locke.
absolutely. Yeah, Andrew Locke.
God, everyone likes Andrew
Yeah,
Locke. He's a bit of a
yeah,
professor. And tell me, how did you
yeah.
find Sebastian? How did you find Sebastian? You've got him as a coach, 6 years now.
Yeah, I'm being coached by Sebastian for 6 years now, and I got to know him because of social media. So I noticed that he was training a lot of very strong people, but
Yeah,
especially I saw him training very strong women as well. Like, they were all squatting like 140 kilograms, and
yeah.
I think back then my best squat was 80 or something. I was like, you know what? I want to be this strong too. What the fuck is he doing? I need to get coached by him, because apparently he gets everyone really strong. So then I told my ex-partner, I knew that Sebastian was doing seminars. So I said, if he's coming over to Europe, doesn't matter in what country he will be, but I will go to those seminars because I want to meet him in person and see
Yeah.
if I have a good feeling with him, because if that's the case, I want to be coached by him. And then in 2018, he came over to Europe for a 3-day course in the Netherlands, in Amsterdam. So I signed
Yeah.
up for it, and like immediately I felt very comfortable with him. So I asked
Yeah.
him to be my coach, and we started working from there. And I already told you about starting my own business was one of the best things I did business-wise. But being coached by Sebastian too, because I've learned so much by being
Yeah.
coached by someone who has so much knowledge, and not just in the strength field, but also as a business owner,
Yeah.
but also as a partner. He's a father of 2 kids. He has he's married for years already, so he's a family man too.
Yeah.
So pretty much in every aspect of life, I've learned a lot from him over the years, and that's been very helpful for my personal development, but as a person, but also as a coach, as an athlete, as a business owner, and I'm forever grateful for that, because I think I've learned more from him than I've learned in every college, every study I did.
Yeah.
It's just
He seems pretty good. I'm trying to get him on the podcast, but I met his brother. I saw his brother. His brother
Cameron.
was training at Paddo Performance there with
Yeah,
Paul.
yeah,
So you've
yeah.
competed?
So
Tell me about your competitions.
I just only did one.
Okay, still. Go
Last
ahead.
April, and I was planning on doing this for years already. But to be completely honest, I was just fucking scared. I was so scared to compete because, you
Why?
know,
Why were you scared? Why were you scared to compete?
because this was in my head. I know better now, but you know, sometimes we fuck ourselves up, mentally.
Yeah, yeah, we do.
Um, I, um, I was scared because I thought, you know, I'm so used to training alone. I'm
Yeah,
so used to not be surrounded by people. Every
yeah.
PB I did in my life was by not being surrounded by people.
I noticed
Um,
that. I noticed that. I was watching one of your highlights, your squat highlights. Just we'll
yeah,
get back to your competition because I want to know the fear. I really want to know the fear. But I noticed that you went from, I watched you, you went 75 kg, then you went 80 kg, then you went 85 kg, and then you went 110 kg times 8. Then you went 115 kg times 3, and then you did 120. What's your PB?
140 on squats.
What? 140?
Yeah.
Jesus. You
So
know
my
what?
best,
Mine, I think my best, and I don't power lift, by the way. I'm just letting
yeah,
you know, I don't power lift. I think the biggest I've lifted at the moment is 165. Don't ask me, that's probably nothing.
it's 165.
165.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, 165. Yeah, yeah. My
Well,
best squat
140.
is, yeah, it's 140, and still it's not a really big squat, especially if you're looking at the weight class I compete in. It's 67 and a half class. I'm currently 65 kilo body weight. It's not, I mean, it's strong, but it's not outstanding strong. I mean, I know how this sounds. You know, for a lot of people, 140 is like it is a very big number. But if you look at the best of the best in the world in this weight class, they squat over 200 kilograms.
So tell me something. You said you were scared, and what were you scared about? What was going on in your head? Is it because you trained alone and all of a sudden you needed to expose yourself? You needed to be in the public eye. Is that what scared you?
Yeah,
And
public
were you
eyes,
also
not
scared?
having.
And were you scared also that if you failed, or let's say you couldn't do something in private, no one saw you, but in public they're going to see you?
Yeah, you know, especially the expectation of people. I don't say they expect things from me, but a lot of people, and I know that's what I'm showing on my social media. A lot of people know me as this very strong person, physically and mentally.
Yeah, you
No, you
do.
look strong, you are
You
strong.
do look like
Uh,
it.
and, and I'm so used to people telling me in my entire life already, oh, this is easy for you. You can do this. No big deal. You will make it
Yeah.
work no matter what. I know, and I will always make it work, but it doesn't mean that I don't feel like there's this expectation or something scare me. You know, it's completely new. It's completely out of my comfort zone, doing competition.
Yeah.
But especially the expectations of people, you know, I remember that when I signed up for this competition, my coach asked me, you want to, yeah, we're going for 150 squat or something because he knows I am capable of doing that. I know that too, but it also got me pretty anxious. Like I felt this pressure, like, oh my God, I have to, you know, people know that I can squat 140 now. My best deadlift is 182 and a half. People see me doing that. Like, what if I fail on the platform? What
Yeah.
if I fail on the platform? And that's actually what has been holding me back for years to do a competition. But then I realized, you know what? This is what I want to do. It's good for personal development. It's good for my business. It's good for pretty much everything. And it doesn't matter if I lift 100 kilograms in a squat, if I lift 150 kilograms in a squat. It's just the experience itself that is going to make me grow. And
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
going to see after this competition if I like it or not. If I like it, I sign up for another one. If I don't like it, I don't have to do it anymore. So, you know, going in this competition with that mindset has helped me a lot, actually. And then I came to the realization after that day that I
Yeah.
actually really enjoyed it. but I actually really enjoyed it. So I signed up for my next competition.
So do you wish you started earlier? Do you wish you started earlier? Or was it
Yeah, now that
perfect
I know
timing?
this. You know, in general, with what I'm currently doing, with everything in my life, I wish I started earlier. But I also wouldn't want to miss everything that happened prior. Also, you know, not signing up for a competition because I was too scared. Because that's it's. I've learned so much from it. Seriously, you know, I've learned a lot from doing things not the right way or not the best way, or you know, sometimes, like you say, maybe it wasn't the right time yet mentally for me to do it. Yes, of course, I wish I started earlier because, no, imagine if I was 20. I'm 35 now, but imagine if I was 20 and I did my first competition at the strength level I am now, I probably would be so much stronger now, especially with the knowledge I have now and the coaching I have now, than what I am now currently. But you know, still, I'm only 35, and
Yeah, you're only 35,
I know
mate. What are you
there's
talking about? You're
only
not ready to retire.
no, not at all. So I'm very happy that I made the decision to do it anyway,
Yeah.
and completely out of my. But also, what was very helpful for me, because this is something I was scared to do for years too, is showing or telling people that I'm scared too.
Yes. It's good for your clients to
I
know that.
Yeah. So, and this is also a thing. If people see me posting about, I very rarely fill lifts. But if they see that I didn't hit a certain number, or I fail a lift or whatever, it pretty much gets the most likes because people can relate to that. You know, they literally tell me, "Oh, I'm happy you have shit days too. I'm happy you fail lifts too." Makes you human, and I think that's very helpful for me too. Like, hey, I can show that I'm human too because I am, and I don't have successful training sessions every time. Sometimes I have shit days too, and
Yeah.
that's why I post that a lot more too. But see, I'm trying to be as consistent as possible and trying to do my best every day because I love doing what I'm doing.
Yeah.
But it's just sometimes it's a shit day. Sometimes it's a shit day, and that happens too, and that's okay too. And
Yeah,
then allowing
that's true.
yourself to take steps back and see your
Yeah.
training program as a guideline instead of something that is written in that you have to do. See it as a
Yeah.
guideline and be open and willing to adjust when needed. That's like one of the main things I'm teaching my clients too. Okay, we have a program.
Yeah.
Well, you are human, and this program doesn't think about how you slept, what stress you're having, like maybe personally in your private life or work life or whatever. How is your nutrition? How you know how are you mentally this day? No, a program is just a guideline, and we can adjust it when it's needed, and I think that's one of the things that help me the most, but also is helping my clients the most. You know, allowing yourself to take steps back when it's really needed.
Well, talking about your clients, and because I want to ask something about when you train alone, but let's go over the questions and answers with some of the people out there. So, your first question, and I'm wondering why I didn't write that person's name down for the first question. But anyway, I will make sure I mention that person. But it says here, if you could choose three things that have had the most positive impact on both your own performance and your clients, what would they be?
Well, I already mentioned one. You know, seeing your program as a guideline, but being willing to take steps back and adjust.
Yep.
Uh, Prioritize technique.
Prioritize technique, huh?
Yeah, you know, before I started working with my coach, I was prioritizing technique, but not as much as I'm doing that now. So my coach always told me you got to earn the right to add weight to the bar. And that's what I'm telling myself and people all the time too. You know, so prioritize technique. Don't do shit lifts. Don't do for body wrong movement. Prioritize technique and earn the right to add weight to the bar. And another one, and that's what I did myself too for years, stop maxing out in the gym every week. It doesn't make you stronger. It makes you weaker. It gets you injured. So don't go 200% every time, you know?
Yep.
Go a little bit conservative and give yourself room to progress each week. And then peak when the time is there, or work towards the peak thing.
So eat, sleep, and what? Repeat?
Eat, sleep, rest.
Rest.
Yes, rest is so important. You know, not just in between training days, but also during your training sessions. And especially the stronger you get, you need more rest in between sets.
And so prioritize technique. Eat, sleep, rest.
Yeah.
And what else? What was the third one?
Don't max out in the gym every week.
Don't max out.
No, not every week.
Don't max out every week.
Yeah. It's way too taxing. It's way too taxing on your body. You can't recover from max lifts every week. So it will not make you stronger.
Taxing on body. Okay, I'm writing this down.
Yeah.
Okay, the next question is from Carl Fieldhouse.
Yeah.
The first, he has two questions kind of mixed in together. Does Alex Spasajewski steal your burgers when you go for lunch?
Yeah, Alex is a good friend of mine, and we go for training sessions every now and then together, usually coached by Sebastian too. And usually we go for lunch or dinner after, and then we go to this burger place in his hometown. It has the best burger. Yeah, he never steals my burgers because he knows.
Never.
He knows never. But this is funny because every time we go for dinner or lunch, the waiter or waitress always says, "Do you really know you want to order this because it's a lot? Are you sure you're going to finish it?" And then Alice is always the first person who says. Then he starts laughing. He's like, "You know what? Don't worry about her. She will eat that, and she probably will order another one."
All right. Yes. All right. So never. He also knows you'll eat everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'll eat everything. Write this down. Everything.
Yeah.
You love your food.
Just make sure my next client will be here in 10 minutes. So.
Okay. He also got here. What setbacks did you encounter when opening a gym and personal training business? So, and how do you overcome them? What challenges do you face today? So there's a few questions there. One is, what were the setbacks that you encountered when opening a gym and personally doing that?
Yeah.
And what do you do to overcome them?
Well, obviously, what I told you, I've spent a lot of time and money and doing a lot of things for free to start my business. So it's not really a setback. It's I think what's needed when you start a business. But I think especially when we were stopped doing one-on-one sessions in a commercial gym and find our own location. The biggest setback there was that we found a location and we knew it was temporary. So we were getting the place ready. So we didn't work, didn't do our coaching sessions for about a month to get the place ready. And once we wanted to start working there, we got kicked out. So we had to find another place immediately, which ended up not working for another month. So it cost us a lot of money, time, it caused a lot of stress. We ended up being in a better location, but that absolutely was a setback when I started, like right away. And setback, like it's not really a setback, but what I'm really struggling with now is a lot of people reaching out for coaching. I'm already having a big team of clients. I'm running my business myself, and I don't really have spots open or available to coach new people. So
okay, so you're struggling
so
to
my
take on more clients.
yeah, so eventually I have to hire someone. I need to work more efficiently. That's why I want to grow my online business, because in person it just takes a lot of time.
Yeah.
Online is a little bit like not easy, but I can handle online clients. I can handle more online clients than I can do in person. So it's not really a setback, but it definitely is becoming a problem or issue right now because I just can't take on new clients.
Yeah.
Or I can, but then I just have to, quit doing that I love to do, like training, for example.
Yeah.
And if I'm doing that, I know I will be very unhappy. I'm not going to continue this because in order to serve other people, I need to serve myself too, and that's what is very important to me. So there are a certain amount of spots. They're all full now. I do have I can take on online clients, but not in person anymore. So that's an issue I'm struggling
Okay.
with now.
Well, I think it's not the worst thing. It's not bad. I mean, especially that you can't fit any more clients in. But I think the challenge for you is to trust another trainer with your people to bring on staff.
Absolutely,
Maria asked the
absolutely.
question, how can you stay so lean all year round? Is that healthy? Example, without losing your period.
Um, well, the way my body composition is now, I'm around 60% body fat. It's For me, it's healthy. I think if you are, especially as a female, being below 10% like an entire year, that's unhealthy.
What are
That's
you now? What
only
are you now?
the way you
16.
look on
What are you
stage.
now? What are you? 16. 16.
16, yeah, around
Yeah,
16,
16% body fat.
17%.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the way I'm like this all the time is because I am incredibly consistent with what I'm doing. So everyone who knows me, but also everyone who follows me on social media, and that's why I always show it, they see me, I have a nutrition on point 365 days a year. I never skip a training session. I go to bed early. I prioritize sleep, I prioritize my health, and consistency is definitely why I am in the shape that I am in,
Yeah.
like yearly or all
Okay.
year round. And to be honest, I
All
never
right.
lost
Never
my
lost
period.
period. Never
Never,
lost period.
never, no,
Okay.
never.
Well,
So,
she's asked another question. How do you combine training and having a relationship? She probably doesn't know that your relationship is 3,000 miles away, but that's another story.
yeah, but still, if you look at training, it's a 1 hour a day. There's 24
So
hours
training is
in a
1 hour.
day.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
yeah, so it's not hard to combine. I think it definitely is helpful if you have a supportive partner. But if you really care about each other, you know each other's needs and you support that, right? So my partner knows how important training is to me, and he would never tell me to skip a training session, for example. Or he would never call me in between a training session because he knows that I
Yeah.
want to be focused with what I'm doing in a moment. And in order to be the most fun and enjoyable partner for him, I need to do what makes me happy, and that's what he knows as well. So actually, it's not hard at all to train and have a partner. Um, I think it's just very important to have a supportive partner who understands your needs.
All right, I've written that down. Okay, very good answers. Tell me something. When are you competing next?
I have 3 minutes
Okay, 3
left,
minutes.
by the
Go.
way.
Good. Yep.
Yeah. My next competition is the 24th of November.
24th of November.
So I'm 12 weeks out. Yeah, so I'm 12 weeks
Okay.
out now this week.
Oh, we'll speed
Yeah.
through a few things quickly. Tell me, how do you train by yourself and do heavy lifting? Isn't it scary when you don't have a spotter?
Um, at first it was, but my coach always told me you don't attempt weights on the bar if you know you're not going to hit. So
Oh,
fewer
right.
warm-ups. If my warm-up sets feel like shit, I'm not going to add weight to the bar. So I only squat or deadlift bands a weight that I know that I'm capable of doing.
That makes a lot of sense. And tell me something. I notice knee straps. I notice elbow straps. How important are the straps to give you stability?
The sleeves, they don't help in stability, but what sleeves do, they
Oh,
warm
is that
up
what they
your joint.
do? Is that what they
And the
do?
warmer,
Oh,
so the warmer the joint is, the better it can function, the better it moves. So actually, knee sleeves don't really give you a lot of stability, but it makes you move your joint better. And if your joints are warmer, they're moving better, and that's very beneficial for
what about
your
the knee
core
straps?
lifting.
I noticed the knee straps though.
The wraps,
Yeah, the
the
wraps.
wraps,
Oh, is
you
that what they're
mean?
called?
The one
Wraps.
I'm using.
Sorry, I didn't know the
Yeah,
technical name.
yeah. So you have knee sleeves
Yep.
and you have knee wraps. And knee wraps, what they pretty much do is like um, it's like an extra
Yep.
quadricep. So you try to push your knees into the wraps, and by pushing them into the wraps, it's easier to extend the legs on
I
the way
find
up.
them. I find them
So they're
mentally
like,
good. They stabilize my brain, make me feel confident when I put that on.
yeah, but that also helps, right? If you are feeling confident mentally. But actually, it's like extra quadriceps. So if you know how to squat in reps, it can definitely be very beneficial and add a lot of weight to your squat
So
and
tell me,
lifting.
do you only do powerlifting where you are, or do you train people physically as well? Like if someone wants to aesthetically, have bigger arms or bigger shoulders or bigger legs, do you train that as well?
Yeah, of course. So if someone has a very specific goal, we always work towards that goal. So you don't need squat, benches, and deadlifts only to reach your goals. It's my preferred way of training, but if someone wants bigger shoulders, we need to do isolation shoulder work as well. And we need to make sure that person, the nutrition is on point because he needs to get in enough calories to support muscle growth. So yeah, of course, if someone walks in with a very specific goal, we use the training methods or exercises that support
Okay.
that goal. And not just in training, but also in nutrition.
Here it goes. Lish Simpson is the winner, everybody, of the 1 year free membership. Congratulations, Lish Simpson. After a great success, Metroflex Gym is extending the competition to win 2 more yearly memberships.
To enter, add, or sign up for 1 month. Now $40, normally $80. Go to Metroflex website and follow the prompts. Link in bio.
Tag a friend, like this post, and follow at Metroflex Gym AU and Muscle Talks podcast to increase your chances of winning.
Winner will be drawn this Saturday.
You've got to be in it to win it.
You've got to get off. Can we just go over the body quickly? And if you can tell me an exercise, whether you train it or not. Okay, you ready to go? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I promise I'll finish quickly with you now. So, do you train traps? Do you have to train the traps?
If you want really big traps, but I would say deadlift.
Oh my God! Yes. Okay. What about delts?
Yeah.
What about outer delts? The outer delts.
Lateral raises. Lateral raises. High
Okay.
reps. High reps and go to field.
Okay.
Go to field.
Front delts. What about front delts?
This is shoulder press or a
Front raise,
front raise with a cable or a dumbbell or whatever weight you would like to use. Yeah, front raise or just a shoulder press or overhead press.
What about rear delts?
Rear delts. I love rear delt raises with cables. But also I found that external rotation exercises help me a lot for rear delt development too. But mainly like specific rear delt exercises, like delt flies, bend over, standing with cables. Isolate them too.
What about chest? Bench
press. And especially if you want a big chest, like hypertrophy your chest, of course bench press, but also add in like dumbbell presses because they allow you to make a bigger range of motion. So a bench press makes you lift the heaviest weight possible, which is also very beneficial for growing a chest. But especially the large range of motion you can hit in a dumbbell press targets the muscle even more, which is needed for
What about
muscle
back?
development.
Laterals?
Back exercises, pull downs, chin ups, rows, bent over rows, deadlift.
And what about bicep?
Yeah.
We're nearly done. Bicep?
Bicep curls and just different angles. So this is normal bicep curls, hammer curls, barbell, dumbbells, ropes on a cable machine. Just try and switch exercises over time. So, for example, do a normal bicep curl for 4 weeks, then add in a dumbbell hammer curl or a cable hammer curl. Just make sure you strengthen your body and all the different parts of different muscle groups over different angles.
Tricep?
Tricep extensions, cold crushers. Lie down on your back with a barbell or with dumbbells, cold crushers. Even close grip bench presses or close grip push-ups or dips. Dips are great for triceps too. Yeah, but I mainly love the tricep extension overhead or like this cables,
abs.
Yeah. Leg raises.
What about the kitchen? Don't abs come from the kitchen?
Yeah, low body fat percentage. Low body fat percentage everyone has abs. They're just not visible because there's a layer of fat. Of course, you can hypertrophy, which you do with training, but if you want visible abs, it's nutrition.
Quads?
Quads, leg extensions. Cyclist squats with a barbell, with a dumbbell, or leg extensions, front squats, hex squats. Very great.
Hamstring. We're nearly done. Hamstring.
Leg curls, Romanian deadlifts, handstand deadlifts, whether it's with dumbbells or with barbells or cables, whatever. But leg curls and Romanian deadlifts.
Calves.
Calf raises. Standing, seated, single leg, double leg. But make sure you squeeze at the top. Full range of motion or really at the squeeze in at the top.
I've also heard that extending them down the bottom is good. What about tibialis? I know it sounds tibialis.
Joe, front of the leg. Yeah, I think it's yeah, it is involved also with your calf exercises. They support your calf exercises too.
What about glutes?
Hip extensions, hip thrust,
Wow.
favorites. Wide stride lunges. Wide stride lunges.
All right, so tell me, where can everyone find you? Where can they find you?
Um, Instagram. Instagram. Mandy
Yes.
Ragetlie. My Instagram name. Or just or just find Health and Performance Center Leiden in locations and you will find me too. I'm on Facebook too. Website www.apcleiden.nl. But mainly Instagram. Mainly
Okay,
Instagram.
and I just want to say thank you very much. I really appreciate your time. I know your client's there. What are you training today? Your client? What are
Thank
you training your
you.
client? What's they're doing today?
He's doing a
Ooh,
Romanian deadlift
Romanian
today.
deadlift. Anyway, I want to say thank you very
Yeah.
much.
Thank you so much for having me. I really enjoyed
I
it.
really enjoyed
Yeah,
having you. I enjoyed
very
having you
nice.
on.
Thank you.